How's it going, man?
How's it going, Coach Mac? Bryan McClendon. Coach, looking at your wide receiver rotation, does the term embarrassment of riches come to mind?
Well, I don't know if it applies. That's for sure. But we return some guys that's played a lot of ball as far as last year. Got Deebo Samuel. He's played a bunch of ball. Ended up playing really good for us late last year. And Bryan had a really good freshman year. Now, both of those guys are still kind of young when it comes to things. When you look how much they played before last season, obviously it's not a whole lot. So they still have to make sure we do a good job of growing still. We don't have a lot of practice left, and we start off with an opponent, quite frankly, that's going to be one of the better ones that we play. So we still got a long way to go, but we do have some young talented guys that have a steep learning curve. It's just really, really short. With
Deebo and having those hamstring issues throughout high school and last year,
right.
How do you try to keep him healthy? I mean,
first, you got to knock on wood and not ask about it. You know what I mean? But I'll say this: you do have to take preventative precautions. You know what I mean? So he's one of those guys that we actually do hydration tests now. He's the one that's constantly on that. Obviously, you got to make sure that you watch him during certain times when he hits certain yardage milestones in practice and things of that nature. But the other thing is just making sure we're doing everything we can do off the field, like eating right, getting the right amount of rest, things like that. And so I think that's the biggest step that he's taken forward to better himself in that area so far.
What's your favorite thing that he can do?
Say this: he's a really good football player that plays wide receiver. If that makes any sense, So he's not like just a wide receiver out there. He doesn't mind the contact. He doesn't mind getting in there and blocking, and just how much he loves the game of football. That's probably my favorite thing about him.
What has Ortre shown in thus far in fall camp, right. And what kind of steps has he taken since the spring?
One, I think he had that injury when he first came here in the spring, so that kind of had him gimped up a little bit last spring. So this fall camp, the one thing I've been real impressed with him is just knowing what to do. I think him being here for so long, it has helped him. But that's the biggest thing that slows young guys down is knowing what to do. And then, once we do that, we can figure out exactly how to do it. So him knowing and learning what to do has probably been the biggest thing that's impressed me about him so far.
We've heard a lot about Shy and his speed. What do you think of him so far?
I think he has a lot of ability. But he's still one of those young players that unfortunately, man, freshmen make freshman mistakes at times. So, and a lot of that stuff just comes with reps. So we just got to make sure that we do a good job of getting them working, getting them caught up exactly how we need things done. But he's a talent. He's a talented young guy.
Where would be the ideal place to put him? In the slot aside, Deebo, or on the opposite side?
Well, I think the best guys can be multiple. They can be moved around and not so much just locked into one spot in particular. So right now, that's the goal, and trying to kind of grow some of those guys to try to learn 2 or 3 different places. So it's hard to say, hey, this guy's always right here, and that way people can take them out of the game if they choose to, or if they game plan certain things to do that. So right now, just trying to learn, trying to make him learn a couple of different spots.
How many receivers do you want to have for each game? 6, 8?
Around 6 to 7 in a perfect world, 6 to 7. Because that room you pull a lot to actually play special teams and stuff like that. So you want to have 6 to 7.
How do you balance that between all the tight ends that you guys have at your disposal?
Sure. I think you got to do a good job of game planning and knowing exactly where you want guys and know what guys, what matchups you might want to take advantage of. So a lot of it going into each week is just, predicated on where I think the game plan takes them a little bit.
How diverse do you expect the offense to be in terms of 3, 4 wide receivers, sure. 2 tight end sets, that sort of thing?
Well, I think, any dangerous offense, man, has speed on the field, So I think any way to kind of to maximize that, I think that's the way you do that. Now, we got tight ends that can do that as well. So, that's the biggest thing. It's just, like I said, just trying to kind of find it in the game plan on where we're going to do what and go from there.
Did Ortre have to change his body at all coming off the layoff from the injury, and where is his kind of athleticism right now?
It's a lot better. He's moving a lot better. Now, as far as changing his body-wise, Ortre's going to naturally be a big-bodied kid. And so the biggest thing is just making sure we're doing a great job of nutrition and making sure, that 225 pounds or 20 pounds doesn't turn into 240. You know what I mean? And so some of that is genetics, but the other thing is, what we can help, we want to do that. So where now we can keep our mobility and be able to move and get in and out of breaks and do everything that we need to do to be a good wide receiver.
What can Terry Cougar do for this team?
Terry, man, he's a guy that's very, very smart. He learns it very well. So he's a guy that you can put in there and play at a number of different positions and go out there and not have to curtail your offense and say, okay, he's in the game. What don't we want to run? He's a guy that can go in there and you can just let it go. And so that's one thing right now that has really, really, really pleased me about him.
Do you think it's been kind of frustrating for him being here a while and Deebo's the hands guy, Bryan Edwards is the deep threat, and nobody really talks about him first off?
Well, I really don't know much about that, but the bottom line is he has to do a good job of taking advantage of the opportunities that he's given, just like the rest of those other guys.
How much did y'all talk with Coach Ray through the recruiting process about, hey, we're going to try to keep you at receiver, but genetics could take over at some point?
Well, no, I mean, right now his future's at wide receiver, so that's kind of all we're going to talk to him about.
Yeah, just because, like you were saying,
Sure.
naturally big body,
Sure.
like, he may not be anybody.
Yeah, well, there was a guy here named Alshon Davis, about 235, too, a pretty good guy, you know what I'm saying? Now, he ended up trimming back down, but, sometimes those big body guys are not bad. I tell you, the thing when you look at wide receivers, you want to do a great job of having guys that can make contested catches. So I can make catches when I'm covered, so that's why you like the longer guys. Guys look for length, guys look for ball skills where people can actually catch with his hands. And, he has some of that stuff.
Is it almost one of those things like sometimes positions are just kind of things on paper? Because you put Casey Crosby in the slot last year.
Sure.
But you could do the same thing with him or Sean or whoever.
Sure. I mean, there's no doubt. Like I said, the biggest thing is making sure we take advantage of the talent that we got. And so I think the best offenses do that. The best offenses not necessarily say, all right, this is drop dead what we do year in and year out. The best offenses look at what they have and then say, okay, how can we put our best pieces out there to give us the best chance to win? And so that's what we were doing last year. We're gonna do the same thing this year as far as now we got a couple new pieces. So now we just got to evaluate and make sure that we're putting that stuff on the field because that ultimately gives us the best chance to win the game.